Fear is older than language. Long before humans built cities, invented weapons of steel, or recorded history, they already knew what it felt like to freeze at the sound of footsteps in the dark. Every rustling bush, distant roar, or sudden crack of a branch could mean the difference between returning home safely or never returning at all. Unlike modern fears of deadlines or missed messages, the fears of ancient humans were immediate: a predator, a rival tribe, a violent storm, a child wandering too far from camp. Death was never an abstract idea. It was a constant possibility. Yet despite living in one of the most dangerous periods in human history, our ancestors didn't spend every waking moment paralyzed by fear. They couldn't afford to. Instead, they developed remarkable ways to understand it, manage it, and sometimes even use it to their advantage. Fear itself was never the enemy. Ignoring it was. From an evolutionary perspective, fear became one of humanity's greatest survival tools. Long before humans consciously analyzed danger, their brains reacted automatically. A sudden movement triggered an immediate surge of adrenaline. Hearts beat faster, muscles tightened, breathing changed. The body prepared for action before the mind fully understood what was happening. That ancient survival system still exists inside us today. It's why your heart races when something startles you, even if you know you're safe moments later. For early humans, those reactions often meant survival. The people who noticed danger quickly were more likely to live long enough to have children. Over thousands of generations, natural selection favored individuals whose minds responded rapidly to threats. Fear became part of our biology. But ancient humans also learned that fear could become dangerous if it took control. Imagine standing before a charging animal. Running at the wrong moment might trigger pursuit. Freezing too long could be fatal. Success depended on responding wisely rather than reacting blindly. Experience became the greatest teacher. Young members of the group didn't learn courage because they were fearless. They learned it by watching experienced adults remain calm during dangerous situations. Knowledge slowly replaced panic. A child's first encounter with a snake might bring terror. An elder recognized whether it was harmless or venomous. Understanding reduced uncertainty. Uncertainty often feeds fear. This is one reason storytelling became so valuable. Around evening fires, older generations shared encounters with predators, dangerous landscapes, severe storms, and successful escapes. These stories entertained, but they also prepared listeners for situations they hadn't personally experienced. A story remembered during a crisis could save a life. Knowledge traveled faster than experience. Community itself became one of humanity's strongest defenses against fear. Facing danger alone overwhelms almost anyone. Facing it together changes everything. Groups posted lookouts while others slept. Hunters worked in teams. Parents protected children collectively. Injured members received care instead of abandonment. Knowing others stood beside you reduced fear before any danger even appeared. Perhaps that explains why humans became such deeply social creatures. Together, we survived threats that would overwhelm individuals. Fire transformed the psychology of fear more than almost any invention. Before people controlled fire, darkness belonged almost entirely to predators. Large cats, hyenas, wolves, and other hunters often possessed superior night vision and moved confidently through places humans could barely see. A campfire changed those odds. Flames produced light, heat, smoke. Many dangerous animals hesitated to approach. For the first time, humans created small islands of safety within an unpredictable wilderness. The fire didn't eliminate fear. It gave people somewhere to face it together. Rituals likely served another important purpose. Across many ancient societies, dances, songs, ceremonies, and symbolic practices appeared before hunts, during seasonal changes, or after frightening events. Modern researchers debate their exact meanings, but psychologically they share something powerful. Ritual creates predictability. When people cannot control events themselves, familiar actions provide comfort and confidence. Athletes still follow lucky routines. Students develop habits before important exams. The human mind continues seeking stability during uncertainty. Ancient rituals worked in much the same way. Nature also taught valuable lessons. Experienced hunters understood animal behavior remarkably well. They recognized warning calls from birds, understood predator tracks, and interpreted subtle changes in weather. Knowledge transformed mysterious dangers into understandable ones. The unknown became known, and known dangers often feel less frightening. Children gradually built confidence through experience. They learned which berries were safe, which rivers flooded after heavy rain, which sounds belonged to harmless animals, which demanded immediate attention. Fear didn't disappear, it became more accurate. Interestingly, archaeology provides evidence that ancient people cared for individuals with serious disabilities or injuries who survived for many years. Some couldn't hunt effectively, others struggled to move independently. Supporting these individuals required enormous effort, yet communities chose compassion over abandonment. Why? Perhaps because fear wasn't only about physical danger. People also feared losing one another. Caring for the vulnerable strengthened trust throughout the group, reassuring everyone that injury didn't automatically mean isolation, that emotional security mattered. The natural world also inspired respect rather than constant terror. Modern society often separates humans from nature, but ancient people lived inside it every day. They learned which dangers demanded caution and which simply required understanding. A wolf wasn't evil, it was hungry. A thunderstorm wasn't punishment, it was part of the landscape. Recognizing these realities allowed fear to coexist with acceptance. Not every threat could be defeated. Some simply had to be endured. There were, of course, fears no experience could fully explain. Illnesses appeared without warning, lightning struck unexpectedly, earthquakes shook familiar ground, volcanic eruptions transformed entire regions. Without scientific explanations, these events often inspired myths and spiritual beliefs that helped communities make sense of overwhelming uncertainty. Stories became emotional shelter. Even if they didn't explain nature scientifically, they helped people endure what they couldn't control. One fascinating aspect of fear is that it also encouraged innovation. Sharper spears, safer shelters, warmer clothing, better hunting strategies, stronger social cooperation. Many of humanity's greatest inventions emerged because someone wanted to reduce a particular danger. Fear pushed people to solve problems. It became fuel for progress. Over time, successful experiences gradually reshaped confidence. A hunter surviving one dangerous encounter became better prepared for the next. Someone who escaped a flood remembered higher ground. Parents taught children lessons earned through difficult experience. Each generation inherited more than tools. They inherited courage built upon accumulated knowledge. Perhaps the greatest misconception is believing courage means the absence of fear. Ancient humans teach the opposite. The bravest individuals were almost certainly those who recognized danger clearly but acted anyway when protecting their families, helping injured companions, or searching for food. Fear wasn't weakness, it was information. The challenge lay in responding wisely. Modern life feels dramatically different, yet our brains still carry the same ancient systems. We still jump at unexpected sounds. We still seek comfort in trusted people during difficult times. We still create routines that reduce uncertainty. Inside every modern human lives a mind shaped by countless generations who survived because they respected fear without surrendering to it. Our ancestors never defeated fear completely. No one ever has. Instead, they learned something far more valuable. Fear isn't a signal to stop living. It's a reminder to pay attention, prepare carefully, trust the people beside you, and keep moving forward despite the uncertainty waiting beyond the next horizon. Perhaps that is why fear has never disappeared from the human experience. It continues to evolve alongside us, changing its shape as our world changes. The predators outside the cave have largely been replaced by different challenges, yet the ancient instincts remain remarkably familiar. What has also remained is our greatest response to fear: learning, adapting, and relying on one another. Every generation inherits not only the fears of those who came before, but also the wisdom they gained by overcoming them. In that sense, humanity's greatest victory was never eliminating fear. It was refusing to let fear prevent us from exploring, creating, and building a better future.